You married a billionaire 6 months after leaving me without a word. Now he's dead. Tell me, Juliet, is there something you'd want to tell me?
Typical Zaden. Tell me, is this interrogation session about how I left you or about my late husband? Because you're clearly deviating from your job description.
I'm not here because of our past. I'm here to solve a puzzle of which you are right in the middle. So, start talking.
You are watching Stories Hub by Nelo, where every story is original and authentic. Okay guys, what I'm about to tell you tonight, you cannot afford to miss a single word. This story has everything: mother, money, secrets, betrayal, and love. The stubborn kind that refuses to die even after so many years. We are going to Ikoyi, Lagos, the quiet, expensive parts where roads are smooth, houses have names, and neighbors are too busy minding their own big businesses that they don't even notice you. The Winston's residence on Jordan Road stood like a king on a throne. 7 bedrooms, marble floors, a swimming pool nobody even swam in. I mean, it was just there, almost like a decoration. And it was beautiful, dangerously beautiful. The man who owned all of this was Mr. Andrew Winston, 45 years old billionaire, CEO of the Winston's Capital Group. I mean, who doesn't even know Mr. Winston? The kind of man whose name alone opened doors. Waiters moved faster when he enters. Ordinary people said his name in whispers like a prayer. His wife was Mrs. Juliet Winston, 34, elegant like she was designed in a factory, always maintaining steeze and always composed. She's the kind of woman that wherever she walks in, her fellow women who so much want to be like her would almost die due to jealousy. Yes. Now here is the issue. To the world outside, they were the dream couple. But we all know what hides behind perfect doors, don't we? Anyways, let me not spoil the suspense. Just stay tuned to find out what exactly I am talking about. So on a tragic Tuesday morning, their housekeeper, Clara, arrived at 7:30 a.m. as she has done for almost 11 years. She went upstairs, knocked on the bedroom door. No answer. She knocked again, still nothing. Then she opened the door, and there he was, Mr. Andrew Winston, lying in his bed, eyes slightly open, hands at his sides, like a man who has simply decided to stop whatever he was doing and just lay still. Clara screamed so loud that the gate man outside thought a snake had entered the house. That one, he hurriedly ran upstairs with his machete with a very serious face. In few hours, the police arrived, the investigators came. In fact, the journalists even arrived before everybody. At that time, his wife was nowhere to be found. So my people, as investigations started, they couldn't find any evidence. No forced entry, no weapon, there was no marks on his body, no signs of struggle. Every door was locked from inside. Cameras showed nothing. The alarm had not been triggered, not even once. This was really strange. The medical examiner said death by undetermined causes, which we all know that this is just the polite way of saying we don't know what actually happened, and this terrified us. Now, where was Mrs. Juliet Winston? She had been on a business trip to Abuja. She returned to find police tape around her own gate. She walked through, head straight, sunglasses on, said nothing, composed, unshaken. She thought it was just the usual paparazzi who wouldn't mind their businesses. She didn't realize that she was officially a pretty, wealthy widow. So fast forward to the day of his funeral. Dignitaries and wealthy men everywhere. It wasn't crowded, but people turned up, and it was strictly by invitation. If you weren't invited, you don't have any business going there, because if you do, your fate will be decided by hefty and mean-looking bouncers. Seated in the front, calm, controlled, flawless, was Juliet Winston. All black, custom fitted. Her hair alone can buy a plot of land somewhere in Festac town. She was receiving condolences with the quiet dignity of a woman who has rehearsed this moment. Not one tear, not even one tear fell from her face, but deep down she was grieving. Now, I want to pause here. Grief has no dress code. Some people cry for weeks in private and show up to the event strong. But people do not know that. They only saw a wife who didn't cry, and that was all it took for the false rumors to start spreading.
Maybe
some women who have always been envious of her saw it as an opportunity to ruin her. She did it. That was the verdict. From people who had never met either of them a day in their lives. So this was how everything escalated. The case was assigned to Detective Zaden Blake. 38, tall, dark, and oh my god, this guy is handsome. The kind of handsome that sneaks up on you slowly and dangerously. 31 cases, 31 convictions, known for instincts and patience. He is exactly the right man for this case. But there was a problem. Zaden knew Juliet Winston not as a colleague, not as a neighbor. He knew her the way a man knows a woman who once held his entire heart. 10 years ago, they had been together, burning with something real. Then one day there was no fight, not even a warning, just an elegant letter and a key to his apartment. She was gone, just like that. She got married to Andrew Winston 6 months later. He never fully understood it, but he moved on because what else can he do? But some things can only be buried, not healed. And now here she was, not as a memory, as a suspect. This story is now on another level. Zaden questioned everyone. A business associate, Jude by name, admitted that Andrew's empire had cracks, bad contracts, nervous investors, financial pressures that were hidden. The housekeeper, Clara, described a marriage that has gone cold. 2 people living in the same house like polite strangers. A family friend of theirs, Martin, insisted that Juliet would never harm her husband. But still, all fingers pointed back to Juliet, his wife. No evidence yet, no motives, no mistakes. It was as if the killer had walked in and vanished into thin air. So Zaden went deeper. He pulled private phone records, traced hidden transactions, examined a deleted email account through a court order. And what he found, my people, you don't even want to know, trust me. Andrew Winston had been living a double life. For almost 2 years, he had been secretly involved with a young woman named Isadora. I mean, what do men really want? Isadora was 27 years old, beautiful. What began as a calculated arrangement slowly became something Andrew could not walk away from. Then Isadora got pregnant. Andrew and Juliet had tried for children for 11 years in their marriage. Doctors, treatment, failed IVFs, prayers, yet nothing. It was the one wound money could not heal. So when Isadora told him she was carrying his child, something desperate and urgent woke up in Andrew. He chose to take responsibility. He was preparing to come clean to Juliet, but he never got the chance to do so.
You can't escape me, Isadora! I won't let you go!
Isadora was in a toxic relationship with a toxic boyfriend, Philip. 31 years old, unstable, violent, addicted to substances that made his mood swing like a pendulum in a storm. He and Isadora had a plan, a cold, calculated and shameless one at that, to find a rich, lonely older man, get closer to him, extract money and walk away. Nobody planned for Isadora to actually fall in love with Andrew, but Andrew was a kind man and easy to love. He remembered small things she mentioned. He made her feel like a person, not a skin. When he responded to the pregnancy with warmth, something broke open inside her. She began pulling away from Philip, Philip noticed. Philip always noticed. She told him she was keeping the baby, that Andrew would handle everything, that she wasn't sure she wanted what they had anymore. This right here was when the real problem started. Philip smiled slowly, the way dangerous men smile when something clicks inside them that cannot be unclicked. He didn't say a word. 3 days later, while Juliet was in Abuja, the cameras showed nothing and Jordan Road was perfectly quiet. Philip made his move. He had studied the security. He knew the blind spots. He knew there was a faulty sensor on the back utility entrance that maintenance had not come to fix. He entered the compound, moved through the house like a shadow. He carried nothing anyone would find because Philip had learned in his violent past how to live with no immediate trace. When he left the same way, quietly, without a single disturbance. A perfect crime. Or should I say, almost. Zaden found Isadora by cross-referencing hidden transactions with a throwaway number Andrew used for private calls. When she opened the door for him, he mentioned Andrew's name. He saw the grief on her face before she could even stop it. He sat with her. Gently, he let her talk. She told him everything, the plan, Philip, the pregnancy, what she said to Philip that last night. I did not know he would do this. I swear to God, I did not know. Zaden believed her, but belief was not enough because everyone is still a suspect. So he had to do his job. He traced a rental car Philip used and parked it on Jordan Road between 11:15 p.m. and 12:47 a.m. the night of Andrew's death. He found a text message that Philip had sent Isadora afterwards. A message Philip, in his arrogance, said things that careful men never say. He won't be in your way anymore. You should be thanking me. Now, a second autopsy found what the first one had missed. A rare chemical compound designed to mimic cardiac failure. Everything was planned, deliberate, and even with a specialist's knowledge. Philip thought he was being very careful, but Detective Zaden was on another level. Philip was arrested in a small hotel in Surulere, watching football, as if the world was still normal. He denied everything for 6 hours straight. Then Zaden placed the GPS records, the toxicology reports, the messages, and Isadora's full statements on the table. Philip looked at it all. Then he confessed. He had no choice because the evidences were glaring. So, fast forward to 5 months later, the judge turned to Philip and announced a sentence that he so much dreaded. A journey of no return. Life imprisonment with no chance of parole. Mrs. Juliet Winston maintained her pose and sat upright throughout the entire trial. She felt vindicated, but then, that was when she realized that truly her husband was no more. And for the very first time, she let out those tears. Their marriage wasn't perfect. In fact, it wasn't even close to perfect. But she remembered the good old times, the sweet memories, and finally the betrayal. She felt overwhelmed, but she breathed deeply, slowly, like a woman who had been holding her breath for months and was finally allowed to let it go. When the case closed, there was no longer any professional reason for Zaden to see her again. That thought hit him harder than he expected. Mr. Detective was in love again. He sat at his desk staring at his phone. Then he typed on his phone. The case is officially closed. If you ever want coffee with someone who is not a journalist or a family friend asking how you are coping, I am available. He put the phone face down. He could not handle watching for a response. 3 hours later, it buzzed. I'd like that. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., Victoria Island. The coffee is good and the people mind their business. He smiled for the very first time in a long while. They met, they talked. In a quiet moment between two sips of coffee, Juliet said, "You never asked me why I left." He set down his cup. He responded, "I was waiting for you to be ready." She told him the truth. Andrew had offered certainty at that time when she was young and afraid. She had called it practical. She had never let herself ask whether it was right. Then Zaden said, "I was angry for a long time, but then I had to investigate a murder where you were the prime suspects, and somewhere between the second interview and the verdict, the anger became something else." What did it become? Juliet was very inquisitive to know. He looked at her in a way a man looks at a woman when the time for protecting himself is finally over. Something that never went anywhere, no matter how hard I tried to move it. Then she smiled. The first real smile he had seen from her all since this begun. "Then let us start slowly." Slowly, he agreed. "I have nowhere to rush to." Now, before I let you go, you know I cannot finish a story without giving you something to carry home. A good story without a lesson is just gossip. And while I enjoy good gossip, I like wisdom better. 1. Wealth cannot buy peace. Andrew Winston had everything people celebrate and still died lonely, secret-filled and unfinished. Never let the appearance of a perfect life replace the real work of building one. 2. Dangerous company always collects its debts. Philip was Isadora's choice made out of convenience, and it nearly cost her everything. The people you choose to work with determine where you end up. 3. Public opinion is not the truth. People convicted Juliet before a single court date based on her dress and her dry eyes. Think twice before you join that crowd next time. And 4. This one is for the romantics. Real love is patient. Zaden loved this woman across 10 years. 10 solid years. A marriage and a murder investigation. Quietly, honestly, without demanding anything in return. If you have something like that in your life, do not let pride make you bury it. With that, we've come to the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story, please do well to give it a thumbs up. Drop a sweet comment in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!